Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back for Tuesday training. As always, I'm here for you at 9 a.m. Central, live, right here from Syndicate headquarters. And as always, we are here to do our best to bring you actionable content, stuff that you can put into your business today, take to the marketplace, increase your productivity, help some more money, help some more people make a little more cheddar. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. We got a stellar guest coming up. But as always, we have a little bit of news. So let me prep some of this news for you real quick, man. I hope you guys are having a fantastic Tuesday this morning. I know I am, guaranteed. And right here, right off the top, I found this article today, and it kind of made me laugh. But it says on the headline that a New Jersey University cop traded PBA card for forged insurance docs. What is a PBA card? Well, that is the Police Benevolence Association. Basically, what this guy did, and it says right here, Christopher Angst, age 48, of Long Valley, conspired with Michael McFadden, 54, of New Milford, an agent with the Hasbrook Heights-based insurance firm Insurance Associates. Basically, McFadden, the agent, created false documents saying that Angst had a workers' compensation policy for his company, C&E Professional Painting. The business had no workers' compensation policies, and Angst falsely presented his painting business to a client as being insured, and that the client unknowingly submitted fake documents to an insurance carrier. Basically, Angst gave McFadden, the agent, a gold Police Benevolent Association card in exchange for the fake insurance document. So this dude bribed an agent. He's like, here, man, here's my gold card for the Police Benevolent Association. Make me some fake insurance documents, and maybe this card will get you out of jail later. Thought that was pretty funny. But moving along, check this one out. We already know this stuff is going on everywhere, but here we have it with Progressive. They are dropping 100,000 policies in Florida as homeowners see insurance premiums rise. And it says basically in the article that Progressive will not be renewing 100,000 Florida home insurance policies, half of the company's business in the state. The company announced non-renewal notices will start going out in December, but if you're not getting dropped, you still might be getting some bad news, according to the report from WFLA. A resident of Sarasota even said that she has a policy with Progressive Home and received a renewal offer, but the letter came with the news that her home insurance premium was increasing by more than $2,000. So, man, if you are out there slinging Progressive in Florida, well, you might be losing some customers, and you're certainly going to see some of your customers with premium increases. So that's another carrier taking a big hit out there in Florida, which we have seen all year long. We've seen carriers struggling out there. And speaking of struggles, on the Medicare side, check this out from Cigna. Again, Cigna is in the news. And if you're an agent out there in the Medicare space, and if you've been at it for some time, you've probably seen Cigna get themselves in hot water a few times. At one point, several years ago, they were even sanctioned to the point they couldn't participate in AEP and enrollments for, I believe it was 12 months, might have been 6 months. So this isn't the first time Cigna's been in the headlines, and now they are saying that Cigna is going to pay, or they've agreed to pay, I should say. This isn't speculation. This is fact. They are paying $172 million to settle charges that it overcharged the Medicare Advantage plans. Basically, what is going on here? Right here in this first headline, health insurance giant Cigna will pay more than $172 million to settle federal claims that it knowingly submitted false diagnosis codes under the Medicare Advantage program. U.S. Attorney says that Cigna knew that these diagnoses would increase its Medicare Advantage payments by making its plan members appear sicker. And that's what U.S. Attorney said. You can go on to look through this a little more, but that is pretty much the crux of it. All of these Medicare Advantage plans, just like any health insurance plan, right? There's a billing code for any kind of procedure, test, treatment that a doctor wants to give you. So basically, they're saying that Cigna was pushing through additional codes to their plans to get bigger reimbursements from the federal government, because that's how Medicare Advantage plans work, right? Medicare Advantage plans are getting a subsidy from the federal government to help cover their claims loss ratio, their medical loss ratio, et cetera. And that's how they get away with zero premium Medicare Advantage plans that are out there. And that's how we get paid as well. So when they're submitting additional codes to make their client appear sicker, they're getting more money and more reimbursements back right? And well, they're going to make more money. But unfortunately, in some cases, they are doing it falsely. And that is definitely the case here from Cigna because they have coughed up 172 million. And this isn't the first time that we've seen Medicare Advantage plans get accused of this. They're accused of it every year. It's always a topic that pops up when people are arguing the validity of Medicare Advantage plans versus maybe original Medicare or Medicare supplements or other options. This is always one of the talking points. And I love to bring this up because if you're an agent out there that is doing, if you saw my training on no hassle Medicare, right, how to kind of stay away from the Medicare Advantage plans and really focus on original Medicare, Medicare supplements, hospital indemnity, final expense, all those other tertiary products that don't fall under the marketing guidelines of Medicare Advantage and drug plans. These are the types of messages that you want to be able to convey to your clients. There is a boatload of information out there that you can utilize that is negative towards Medicare Advantage plans, and a lot of it properly so. I mean, I'm not here to say that Medicare Advantage plans are bad. I love Medicare Advantage. We sell them a lot, but we're selling the right plans to the right consumer. Doesn't always mean it's the right fit for everybody. But if you're out there and you're wanting to build a business focused on Medicare supplement sales, articles like this are your ammunition. And you should absolutely use them when you're talking to clients that are like, well, why do I want a Medicare supplement plan when I can get one of those free plans? Isn't free the best thing to do anyway? Well, here's a great example of maybe why it's not the best choice for your client. And then finally, moving along, last little bit of news. Obviously, AEP is upon us. And there's been a lot of folks obviously complaining about the TPMO disclaimer that we have to use. And more specifically, how do we advertise and tell them perfectly and accurately how many plans that we're working with in any given county. And my buddies over at Precision Senior Marketing put this great article together that explains how you need to be using that TPMO disclaimer in your emails or in your websites, forms, etc. And I'm going to shorten this for you real quick. We can go through this whole thing, but as you know, you're supposed to tell people how many plans you work with in any given zip code. And if you don't work with all of them, the old disclaimer or the new disclaimer is now we do not offer every plan in your area. Currently, we represent X number of organizations which offer X number of plans in your area. Please contact Medicare.gov, 1-800-Medicare, or your local state health insurance program, SHIP, to get information on all of your products. That's the new disclaimer. And if you don't know how many plans you work with in an area, or maybe you're working multiple states, and it's impossible because you don't know who's reading that disclaimer. They could be in Georgia, they could be in Texas, they could be in Tennessee, they could be in Travis County or Williamson County or Ector County. You don't really know where they're coming from, so you can't accurately describe it. So what they have said is like, hey, this new disclaimer doesn't work on websites, period, right? We know that. It won't work in your email either because you never necessarily know who's getting that email from you sometimes. So what they have simply done is they've said that, hey, on your website or in any area where a beneficiary cannot input a zip code, you can use the old disclaimer, which is right here at the bottom. We do not offer every plan in your area. Information we provide is limited to those plans we do offer in your area. Please contact Medicare.gov or 1-800-Medicare to get information on all of your choices. That's what you can put on your website and be compliant. That's what you can put in your email technically and be compliant. But anywhere that your beneficiary can input a zip code, right? Like a form, Insta form, landing page form, etc. You were supposed to be using the new one that dictates how many plans. But they've even said that there's areas where if you don't know who that consumer is and what zip code they might put in, you can still get around it with the generic one. So this is an awesome article. I have posted this in the group. I posted it last week. So if you're looking for it in the group, check for it. I posted for it last week, but it goes through all the details on what you need to be putting on your website to make sure you are up to speed on that new TPMO disclaimer in Medicare. And furthermore, I dropped a video. I actually did this video in the Medicare Monsters group, real short little training video that I did for Sunfire users. So this is for guys that are out there in the Medicare space, but they're using the Sunfire platform. It has a shortcut that helps you find out how many companies and how many plans you have in any given zip code. So when you're talking to a consumer and you have their zip code punched in, or maybe if you've got your lead back and you see their zip code, you can go in there, build your profile out, Bing, and then right there it'll tell you what's available. And you can immediately see, oh, I work with 9 companies that have 37 plans in that area. And you can properly say that when you get on the phone with them. Awesome, awesome little shortcut for telesales. I recorded that and threw it in the Medicare Monsters group, but I will post it in the comments of this post right here as well. And with that said, let's get ready for our guest, man. I hope you guys are aware of the insurance industry. I actually hired them to do some extra work for me and my go high level experience, things that I'm just not quite up to speed with, and technically I shouldn't be doing. Right, I'm too busy selling. I don't need to be building go high level funnels. So I looked them up, found them, and they're doing a terrific job for me. I'm really happy with the work. So we wanted to come on, provide some value to you guys on automations. Why should agents be using automations? What type of automations they should be using, and so forth. So please put your virtual hands together for my new friend, Kaitlyn Lemus Portillo. Kaitlyn, how are you today?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you so much for having me on as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you for coming on. Obviously, you're not an insurance agent. Maybe not obviously, but you don't really know our community here, right? We're a whole bunch of insurance agents. We got about 7,300 insurance agents in this group, a bunch of them tuning in live. So I want you to just take just a short moment and just introduce yourself to the group. Let them know who you are and kind of what you're doing and what you're about.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. Thank you again for having me today. My name is Kaitlyn Lemus Portillo, and I am a tech firm automation owner. We own Automation Genie and Freedom Automations and KLP Consulting. We specialize in helping businesses customize a CRM that can do a lot of robust tasks, usually from A to Z. Once in a while, they come in and they've got some work done, but that's what we do. And we consult and we help strategize. We are programmers, coders, and business strategists.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said. So how did you get into automations originally? Like where did you eventually go, how I need to start doing some automated
Well,
work?
I definitely didn't go dive right in because that was not the plan. So I got started doing music at major record labels and for like TV and film. I had a really great manager, Deborah, in LA, and for years we worked together. And I did some pretty big movies, TV, film, the Hilary Duff movie, A Cinderella Story, and music for other shows of that nature. And then I kind of hung up my hat from the music industry. I wanted to, explore other things. And I was very interested in real estate and investments and business. And I just thought, there's got to be another way to make millions of dollars and not have to depend on a fan base. So anyway, I'm also kind of conservative in some ways. So I was just like, let's see what's out there. So I got into real estate, did a lot of investing, still do that, and started investing in other projects, other startups. And I am invested in a new construction, new development and cleaning business. And here's what happened. I learned a lot, lost a lot, learned a lot, dealt with a lot of big business guys, the big dogs, it's construction, and I was a woman. And I got a lot of experience there doing business. And here's what happened. I wanted to automate the construction and cleaning company. And this was back when Jobber had just first come out. It was super cheap and there was only a couple softwares out there. And so I went through every software there was out there. I could go on for hours about that, to automate that business, right? And so eventually I met my husband and we started some businesses together. Okay. And he was military, infantry. He'd been in there for almost 15 years. He's retired now. And we started using Go High Level and experimenting with it. And I started playing with it and doing these things. And I had been really interested in creating custom calculators and algorithms to give quotes for cleaning companies when you go to their website and fill out information, because the number one problem people had is they weren't getting the truth of how much the cleaning was going to cost. And so I was trying to solve that problem. So anyway, we get to that and then we start playing around with Go High Level, and this is years ago when High Level just came out, right? High Level is not even quite 5 years old. And so we started playing around with it, and he was like, let me see that. Let me take a whack at that. And within weeks, he was immersed in it. We were immersed in it. We were learning everything we could. We became obsessed with it, passionate about it. We realized we had a talent for it. And all my years of making, I made crazy money on and off my whole life because of the music and TV and, entertainment industry. So I've learned how to like be disciplined and handle money and things like that, over the years at a fairly young age. And so that's another reason why I think we were able to be so successful with it, is we just kept obsessing about the craft and getting to like mastery level instead of like worrying about buying shiny things and taking extravagant trips and all this stuff, And so that was like what we did. Stayed really, really disciplined and kept our heads down for years, and then mastered the software, and then became like true programmers and learned all about coding. And then we learned how to code and all these things. And so then we thought, wow, this is what maybe the universe or God meant us to do. Right. And so we've been serving thousands of people at this point. We've done over 500 custom builds, and then we've served thousands on like consulting for their high level and things of that nature. So this is all we do, is build programs and CRMs for every type of business out there.
Makes sense. When you jumped into it the first time and you were using it for some of your cleaning business, what were some of the first, simple automations that you used that you found like, wow, that's really helpful?
As soon as a lead comes in, text and email, out is really big. That was the biggest thing. And then like text callback, all that fun stuff, and then a voice drop. When it first came out, people were like, wow, everybody was like, wow, what is this? It didn't even make the phone ring, but it showed a missed call. So that was pretty interesting.
Absolutely.
So I used all those in the beginning. Then I realized that high level really, really started to change the game for like service-based businesses, because a lot of them are like mom and pop, or they're like one guy running a 6-7 figure plumbing business or HVAC business, and he's pulling his hair out. He's been doing it this way for 10-15 years, and this could really like change his life, his quality of life, things like that. I mean,
Absolutely.
high level's great for anybody, but there's certain people out there that have been running a certain way because of the type of the business they are. You know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely. We had one quick question that jumped in. Do you guys do anything with other CRMs, or are you strictly focused on go high level builds?
We know some, yeah, and it depends. We also are willing to learn. Like we've had people come to us. I'll tell you one that we're kind of trying to master right now is Airtable. We're trying to get Airtable down. It's really it's better really for like if you're a marketing agency and you have to have a lot of communication because of design and branding, or and it's really good for companies that tend to have a lot of balls dropped, miscommunication, a lot of drama. Just being honest, like it helps keep the drama at bay because you can upload actual docs and show people things instead of just say it in an email. There's certain things that it's good for. It's good for project management or staff back-end management if you're in a design studio or a coaching business where you're promising people a bunch of graphics and a bunch of different things. It can be good for that. So we're kind of trying to master that and a couple others. And then Zapier. We are amazing with Zapier. We know integrations, we know Zaps, we know DocuSign, we know PandaDoc, things like that. And, if it's a software that we don't quite know, we'll look it up a little bit, see if it's something we can help you with. And if it is, we'll help you. If it's not, we'll, try to find you a resource.
Understood. We had another follow-up question on that. How do you help someone implement something like this when they've been doing something their own way for 15 plus years? Because automation's obviously going to make their head explode.
Yeah.
And maybe what are some of the hurdles there?
Yeah. The number one thing is you can't overload them, and don't try to impress them. Don't try to do too much. What do they need in the beginning to like ease them into it? Baby steps. Call, text back, a voice drop, and a text and an email, and a couple nurturing email follow-up. Show them how to download Lead Connector app on their phone and walk them through just that. Tell them to stay in all, never to go to unread. Tell them to stay in all so it keeps up in chronological order. And like that's how you do it. And then you create looms and you do free training for 35 days after their build out, so you provide them with resources. You don't just take the money, build it, and then say, figure it out, man. Good luck. You can't do that.
Good luck, bro.
Yeah.
By the way, I need some help with my plumbing.
Yeah, exactly. So looms, videos, and then like if there's a wife, or a lot of times in those instances, there's family involved. So you usually got like the more modern hip daughter or son or niece or nephew that's helping run that business. So you can get with them too. Encourage that business owner to bring other people in instead of just putting it all on them, because especially if they're the one with the license, they should be out like doing the things,
Absolutely. You had mentioned call text back a couple of times already. That's a feature that I see in Go High Level, and I'm currently not using it because our system is currently designed where we always have a live person that answers the phone. So I'm assuming that's something I probably don't need, because my understanding of that is that's if you miss a call, it sends them a quick text. Hey, I see you. I'll be with you real quick.
Right? Yeah. Some people don't need that. It just totally depends on the business model. And they use that feature to sell. A lot of times guys who are like selling SaaS or selling like a certain thing, call text back is all they sell, because they don't know anything else about the system. You know what I mean? They just heard about it,
Understood. But that sounds like a useful one for maybe an individual agent who isn't quite built out, where he has an answering service or maybe a VA that answers his phone.
No, that's the number one thing you could do. It's great for a barber, an insurance agent, a nail salon lady who is just herself. Any one of you that can, any type of business or individual that is like in the bootstrapping, not quite scaling stage. That's massive to keep people happy and to not have bad reviews on your service or the customer service experience that they're having. It's really good to be able to do that. Super smart.
Makes sense. So is the way I'm thinking about that feature. I'm an agent. I'm out in the field. I might be talking to this customer, or I'm in an in-home appointment or something to that effect. Someone calls me. I don't get the call, and then it sends them a text. What would you recommend is the substance inside that text, without having too much information, but the right amount of information, and maybe a call to action of some sort?
So you got to be really careful. That's the thing. It's all great and fine that you can send text messages, but sending a bunch of links, bad idea. And having the message be super long, bad idea. Because you have to remember that just because we have the ability to text with these CRMs, you have to use Twilio or a phone service, right? It doesn't matter if it's high level. And let me preface this really quick. And this is important for all these agents to know this. A lot of people want to get a little attitude when they're like, oh, I have to pay for Twilio and I have to pay for this. Well, yeah, but guess what? Newsflash, Twilio is one of the top 5 phone systems that integrate into all CRMs. So go look at the other side of the grass, and guess what? Twilio is what they use too, like a lot of times. So you can everybody gets excited that they have texting capability with the CRM, and then they find out they have to pay for it. And they're like, whoa. And then they don't want to deal with it. And it's like, well, you most likely have to deal with it over there too. So now that we've accepted that and learned that right now, moving forward, realize that the text can't be that long because you're paying cents per word or per letter, right?
Yeah.
So you need to keep it short and sweet. That's super, super important. So I would say something like, I apologize we apologize we missed your call. You can be funny with it. We can't contain how excited we are to get back with you, and we'll be with you shortly. Please wait for your call back. I mean, things like that. I mean, as long as it's something short like that, then you're golden. Now, if you want to do something like, hey there, saw we missed you. So sorry, but we're helping another customer at the moment. You can either wait for a callback or click here now. Boom. Okay. And then it's a link, and it takes them to an internal calendar where they can book on a calendar with you for whatever it is: nails, insurance meeting, in person, virtual, whatever the heck it is.
Makes sense.
So yeah.
Okay. Awesome. I may start using that feature a little bit more on some other ideas that I have. You said not a lot of links.
Yeah, you don't want to have a lot of links because it's gonna their carrier. It doesn't matter if, first of all, again, all right, let's take a step back. A2P verification. All right.
Yeah.
All of this is a really big deal. You have to do this. You have to register the number. There's no getting around it. And, they're doing it for a couple reasons. Okay. So they're doing it to protect people from getting too much spam. Okay. We'll accept that. I'll be careful how I say this. What they're asking is to know a lot about what you're sending and what you do. Okay. In my opinion, it's a very convenient way for people to be tracked and what you're sending to be tracked and what you're doing to be tracked and for your business to be tracked and proof that you're in business and many, 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 many other things that I won't get into. Okay. So it doesn't matter why it's happening or the real reason or what many reasons it could be. It's that the government and, the other entities want to keep people safe from getting too many spam messages on their phone. Okay. So if you're sending 5 different links, what is it most likely usually when I get a bunch of links, it's usually a scam from like a fake Amazon or UPS driver.
Yep.
B, sexual stuff. Like that's, I definitely didn't sign up for. And things of that nature, right? So those are the things that you usually get a lot of links and spammy stuff for. So if your texts are looking similar to that, of course they're going to be flagged. Of course they're not going to make it through, or it's going to show unsuccessful on sent, on lead connectors. So those are all things that have to be thought about. The texts have to be short, sweet, to the point. And that leads me to, I'll talk about this for 60 seconds or so. AI. If you really want to get your texts and your emails to sound proper, you probably need to purchase a really good prompt manual for ChatGPT and other AIs like Sandbox and other things of that nature. And you need to say things like, hey, ChatGPT, how's it going? Like I talk to ChatGPT like it's a human because I want to warm it up a little bit. I want to get it to not just give me the bare minimum,
Right.
I'm getting close to really mastering ChatGPT for certain things for my clients and other nature. But one thing that you can do is say, hey, ChatGPT, I'm using Twilio phone service to send out text messages. And I really need to get to the point pretty quickly with my texts because I'm being charged per letter. Can you, in a very short text, say convey this, then write the paragraph or the half paragraph of what you want conveyed, and then make it come and then say, give me 5 different text messages and convey this message in as short as text as short as words as possible. Like, there you go, and take that and use that. And it's probably something way more intelligent and better, well-written, a better framework than what you would have come up with yourself. And it took in account the information that you gave it, and here's what I say to people. If you aren't using ChatGPT properly, it's just because you're lazy. And I joke around, not necessarily on purpose lazy, but you can literally tell it so when I talk to it, I'm like, I'm sitting in a room and right now the vibe is this, and the walls are baby blue and blah, 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 I go all out because that means the outputs are going to be that much better. So if you put a little more effort into ChatGPT, it will be amazing, and if you're an insurance agent and you need a sales funnel written and you're like, I don't want to pay $10,000 or $5,000 or $2,500 to the copywriter, because copywriters who are really good are expensive and they should be. But if you can't afford that, what you need to do is you need to go to ChatGPT and you need to say, I want you to write me a sales funnel landing page in the sales and in the full sales page section, proper sales section by section. Or I want ChatGPT, I need you to make me a sales funnel using proper sales funnel sections. And I am a individual insurance agent selling health insurance. It will write the headline, the subtitle, the hero section, the about, the FAQs, the this, the that. It will write it in the actual sales page form, but you have to know how to prompt it. It'll even make the headline big and bold and the other letters different font sizes. And a lot of people, when I teach them this on one-on-ones, they're like, I didn't even know it could do that. Yeah, it can. So I encourage you to use AI, for that. And that's my rant on that.
Yeah. I learned that ChatGPT is basically only limited by your own imagination.
Yeah.
Right. And that there's obviously a formula to creating the proper prompts, right?
Yes.
Act like this, give me this in this format. You had said that there are prompt manuals you can purchase.
Mm-hmm. There are. So we are, it's not out yet, but there's other people's prompts you can purchase. And then our course, it's called What the Fuck is SaaS?
You're fine. This is not a family show.
Yeah. So we have a course coming out called Set Your SaaS Up for Success, or What the Fuck is SaaS?
Yep.
And that is a $5,000 product, and you get your build out, plus you get all of my landing pages, ChatGPT prompts, all the stuff inside it. And that releases in like November, December. So that's not even there yet. But you can go find other prompts. And it's just like a prompt thing. It has nothing to do with high level, but you can purchase prompt packets for pretty cheap, I think.
To help you kind of figure out how to prompt ChatGPT better. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We did have another question that popped in from Sonia here. Why did they choose you, obviously, to specialize in Go High Level versus, say, HubSpot and Zoho?
Why did they choose high level why did we choose high level?
Yeah, versus some of the others.
Yeah, because Zoho is amazing for small business, and HubSpot is great in some ways too, but they don't even come close or hold a candle, in my opinion, and the opinion of tens of thousands of others.
Sure.
So
I've never used either of those. Zoho is just kind of in my understanding, Zoho is a CRM, right?
Yeah.
And then HubSpot, is that also a CRM? I always thought HubSpot was kind of a dashboard reporting tool.
Yes, that's what it stared out as. And then it was kind of like you could do other things through it and watch videos. And there was like certifications and different things, I think, back in the day. But yeah, we just chose Go High Level because that's what, after many, many uses of different things, that's what I got into. And it's just really robust. The community is also amazing. Sean Clark is amazing. He's always pushing the envelope and keeping the customer service trying to at the forefront,
Right. So let's pretend for a second I'm a brand new insurance agent. I just ordered a bunch of leads from some digital lead platform, and I have a shell of a Go High Level experience that maybe I got from some white label version that somebody in the industry is shilling. What is probably the first project that I should do to help me create some efficiencies? Because that's the whole purpose of it, right? I want to create efficiency that gives me more time to be more productive, right? Basically.
Yes. So a couple things. So using High Level, you need to remember that you can also hook into your social media platforms. Okay. And a lot of times, especially insurance and like financial people forget, or they think because what they're doing is quote unquote boring or not sexy, why would anybody care about it? Well, you need to, because when people go look you up, all they need to see is that you put a little effort into your social media and you seem legitimate. Okay. Like it's that simple. So use the platform to post for yourself. Go take 2 hours once a week or 3 hours once a month and schedule out 15 to 25 posts for the month on your socials. You can do that. You can log into like, I don't know how many platforms at this point in the back of it. And so there's that. Number one, get your social media organic game on point and quit making excuses and being lazy about it. Okay. Number two, you just probably need your text callback needs to be written immediately, and then get a couple nurturing emails written. Okay. The next thing I would tell you is get a voice drop. Do a voice drop, just a nice professional voice drop, record it with your phone, send it via email to yourself, then upload it, into the workflow. and send a voice drop, I would say 7 to 9 days after the lead comes in. All right. Because the voice drop is to like pull them back and kind of surprise them, right? Because they've already gotten a text and an email from you. And I would say, you know, the 3-day, 7-day, 21-day, 30-day, et cetera framework, that works pretty well, you know, when it comes to like hitting people back via email. The other thing I would tell them to do is make sure that they have a good queue. Make sure that you have a decent sales funnel or a way to collect opt-ins for the future and have that hooked up. Because so many times, like, we're going throughout the day and getting a coffee or doing something or networking or not even meaning to network. And all it would take is like having a QR code on a card or on your phone or being able to hand that out. And that QR code takes them to like a half-page sales funnel. Okay. And they just give their name, number, email, and press submit. And then once they do that, they get a text and email from your high-level system. So you don't maybe need to have like this huge sales funnel in the beginning, but you need to have a way for people to opt in and for you to be able to capture their information as you go about your everyday. Okay. And that's really, really important as a new agent, because you're going to develop connections with people.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're new at anything, you're like really hella motivated, right? And you're like, I gotta do this, man. I don't want to starve, right?
Right.
All right. So you happen to usually be a little more chatty than you might be 5 years into a job. Okay. So what happens? You're networking, you're talking, you're like, you know, doing your thing, moving and shaking. While you're moving and shaking, you need to be collecting people's information. And so you have every reason to have like that QR code on a card and a stack of them in your purse or your wallet or your pocket or in your car at all times, you know, for them to opt in. Because again, remember, if you have that decent workflow set up, all it takes is meeting somebody standing in line at Starbucks or at Pete's Coffee, and they become an opt-in. And because you have that workflow set up and you use ChatGPT to write that text and email campaign, they're going to get that as soon as they submit their information. So those are a couple things, like tangible things I would do, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in your opinion, what do you think is probably one of the most underrated features of Go High Level? Something that people just aren't using or not using correctly.
Let me see here. Well, probably the membership capability. You can create membership and then communities. The new community capability is pretty cool, you know? And that's just, people aren't even really fully, you know, I mean, it's so new, but memberships
Right.
have been there for a long time. Memberships are amazing. Like, I just feel like memberships don't get as much credit as they can because like Kajabi kind of is like the thing that people use a lot of times, but I just think they're great because you can automate it inside, and as soon as somebody pays, then it sends them the login, you know, to their username, and then they can like access your course or your free course or whatever, you know? Like, for example, if I was an insurance agent that like was dealing with people who needed a lot of explanation and a lot of pushing to like sign up for something, I would want to make a really fun, easy, user-friendly course that's free and record videos that are 2 to 3.5 minutes long and that have modules. And it explains the different plans and different options and fully explains things. And what happens is like, that is something you do it's one and done, unless you have to update things as plans or the laws change, right? It's one and done. It's probably 10 different videos, 10 chapters, a little bit of text. Again, you use ChatGPT to write the script and write the chapters. And when someone becomes a lead in your system, you can automatically give them access to the course and they can go into it and watch all these videos, and it almost can pre-qualify them. And so those are things that like a lot of people aren't taking advantage of. You don't have to think of a course as something to make you $1 million. What if you put some effort into a course and that course is your actual lead magnet? The course is what gives the value, you know? So I think people aren't taking advantage of that. You can have it so the course is free and it bypasses in high level and gives them access to videos and modules to help almost sell things for you, you know?
Okay. And that's what gets built inside of the membership
Yeah,
side.
it's totally inside memberships. Yeah.
Okay, you just opened my eyes to something because I was starting to build out pretty much exactly what you said, but I was building it in sites. It's just a web page.
Oh,
that I
that's
could
fine.
drive
You
people
can do
to.
it that way too. I've seen people do it that way too. You can build it in sites and funnels. That's totally fine.
Is there any advantage to doing it within
Well,
memberships and courses versus sites and
so
funnels?
so the sites and funnels is basically like on the website. Let me ask you this, the layout, is there like several videos on one page?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. That's like it's just like an informational webinar landing page video.
Yeah, it's just one page, has a bunch of different videos, whatever you want to learn about.
And especially for people that are elderly, that's 100 times better. The course is going to possibly be really annoying for them, even though you can make it very easy and user friendly, you know, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, but still, yeah, just clicking a landing page on a link, that's better, especially if it's somebody that's on a cell phone. So
Okay.
yeah, landing page is fine. As long as, I would just say in general, educating people, especially with insurance, is probably like a really good way to go. And that can, a lot of times that'll help literally sell it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you said that, educating, because especially in my space, which is the Medicare space, I'm dealing with senior citizens most of the time that are 65 and older. And I can attest to this because I'm approaching 50 and I'm already realizing I'm not as sharp as I was 10 years ago. So I feel for some of these folks and I understand why they're having challenges with some of the digital means that we communicate with them, even though they are getting sharper as they continue to age in. But I believe I think all of the sales worlds that are out there, whether it's car sales, insurance sales, home sales, whatever it is, has become a more educated approach because of the internet, because of the amount of information is out there. I feel like people generally want to do business with someone who educates them about the product or service that they're buying, not just like, hey, here it is, it's $50, buy it, go away.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to educate because, well, a couple reasons why, but the number one reason why you should want to educate is because helping people in the world is all done really by education. Okay. Educating people. Number two, if you educate people, you're going to have less issues later, less drama later, less upset people later, or unmet expectations. You know what I mean? Because with the education process comes filtering. You keep educating, and then eventually people start to fall off. And those are the ones that you don't want anyway. The ones that keep staying through the education, well, those are the ones that are really getting something out of it. Well, what does that mean? That they really align with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So, it's a natural process.
Yeah. More loyal client, more retention, which is definitely the name of the game in insurance because it's all a renewal-based industry. When it comes to messaging, whether it's text or email, right? And I think it's probably more important through text because it's such a limited communication device. And obviously, as you already pointed out, we don't want to use a whole sling of words, paragraphs, and links. Is there something to be said about the fine line between a professional message versus a casual message? And where do you find your authenticity in there? And I'm asking this because I was going through some of my messaging yesterday and I was like, man, this is just, it sounds too stale. It sounds way too professional. I don't sound like I'm being friendly. I'm like, it's a very professional message, which is not bad, but so I started to look at it and I'm like, well, let me adjust it with a little more, hey, and what's up, and some different things like that. And I think it ultimately depends on who you're communicating with, but I'd love to hear some of your comments on kind of the line between professionalism and a casual message and what you think performs better and maybe why.
Okay, so casual is great as long as they're a younger audience, and it depends on what the niche is and what you're selling, what they're trying to buy, what the offer is, the product is. If you are young and in startup and tech, a lot of times I'll see a call, text back, or a message go out that'll say like, hey, Kate, what's up? How's it going? It's Eric, blank, blank, blank. I saw that you had opted into blank. What were you thinking about it? Things like that. That works for me. I'm cool with that. The guy seems pretty genuine. Like, I grew up in California. We have a certain way we talk, so I'm cool with it. Right. But if you're sending messages to older people or like Medicare, you can't be like, hey, Charlene, what's going down? Like, you cool hopping on a Zoom in 30? That's not going to work, So
fair enough.
Yeah. So you're going to have to figure that out, which here's the thing. ChatGPT can already do that for you. You just got to be like, hey, my ideal client's name is Charlene. She's 54 or 62 or 89 or whatever. She lives in Chicago or the tri-state Chicago area, or she lives in one of the 50 states in America. She needs this. She doesn't need that. Her struggles are this. And the problem I'm solving is that. Can you make a text message out of that? And it can't be more than 10 words. Boom. Right. There you go. Tell ChatGPT who your audience is down to what they do in their free time or what their health issues are or what their main pain points are. And, use that. You know what I mean? Use that.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. I've continued to get better as I use ChatGPT, but those are some good points. Joe dropped a question here. What's the lead connector? Joe, lead connector is just another phrase for Go High Level, basically. So like if you're connecting Zapier, right. So if you're connecting Zapier to Agency Block or any other integration, it would be called lead connector inside of Zapier, but it's basically just Go High Level. Yeah. So awesome. Well, listen, man, this has been some great information. I want to be respectful of your time because I know you're a busy lady and we got busy people in here. But hey, how do we find you? Right? If we got anybody in here that wants to chat with you, they're looking for some tips on Go High Level or some of the things that you can help them with, how do they get? I would love to offer everyone a full free hour-long consult strategy. Just like, when I got on with you, I said, hey, listen, let's see what you got going on before I even, let's see just what you got going on. So get with me. I'll do a business consult. I'll kind of tell you how we got to where we're at, what we did. And this has been, thanks, man. I appreciate that, Brian. We've been fortunate enough, I'm 35. My husband just turned 32. We just built our dream home in Costa Rica and we're mortgage free by 35 and 32. We moved our kids here. We even moved, well, I did because we're best friends. I moved his ex-wife here. We all work together. It's a family run business. And it is, it's amazing. It's amazing. So the best link to get a hold of me and meet with my whole team, meet with the family is www.freedomautomations with an S/call. So that's www.freedomautomations.com/call. And that's a free consult. Get with us. You'll meet with my husband, myself, our whole team, and we'll talk about your business. If you need help with Go High Level, we're happy to give you a quote. Our prices are fair. We're not the cheapest, but we're also very fair. So I would love to help any of you who need help with that, as well as your integrations. If you need that, PandaDoc, DocuSign, really getting the whole thing put together. So I thank you so much for asking me to be on here, Tony. Yeah, no, thank you for coming, man. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. And just to kind of follow up with what she said, I was looking for a good Go High Level engineer to help me out because I have some pretty sophisticated things I'm trying to get accomplished that are not my skill set. And again, I don't have the time to be doing that crap anyway. I got other stuff to do. And I looked on Fiverr, couldn't find the guy that I needed on Fiverr because I need someone that's bilingual because everything I do is in Spanish marketing as well as English, but a lot of it's in Spanish. And all the guys on Fiverr are generally from the Middle East and they're Google Spanish, right? They're all using Google Translate for Spanish, which is not what I need. I need someone that understands the Spanish language and they're bilingual.
We are English, Spanish, and German are all of our first languages. And so we are fluent in all of them here and able to serve anything in that sector. So thank you so much. I hope everybody has a good day and I hope everyone takes advantage of that call. I would love to meet you. Even if you're not a client, I'd love to help you, point you in the right direction because that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Well, thank you again, Kaitlyn. You have an awesome day. Thank you guys as always for tuning in. We are here every Tuesday, 9 a.m. Central. man, if you got a topic that you want to learn about on this show, let me know, right? In the banner at the bottom, you will see our producer's email address, Lily Davies. If you have a topic that you want to hear about on Tuesday training, shoot her a message. If you've got a guest that you want to hear from, shoot her a message, let her know. If you want to get on the show, if you think you got something to say, shoot us a message. Let us know what you want to train on. Other than that, as always, these videos live in the group, but they get pushed out to YouTube. And if you're not subscribed there, get it done. It's easy. Just go right over there and you click a button and you're done. It's over. You're subscribed. You'll never miss content. And we're also on Instagram and TikTok now, thanks to Lily Davies. And she is the best. So thank you guys again. Y'all have an awesome Tuesday, and we'll see you next week for Tuesday training.